Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University, and today I want to talk about my favorite momentum stocks and my favorite stocks in general this week. If you're interested in momentum stock trading, swing trading, or just want to see what stocks I'm trading or investing in, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Now we're in sort of a strange zone here, and I want to begin with sort of the macro backdrop before I talk about the individual picks. The reason for this is that we've still got a very bad inversion in the U.S. Treasury curve, and we can see right here we've got the 2-year Treasuries at 1.52%, and the 10-year is below that at 1.47%. And then today, for the first time in a very long time, I'm actually not sure if it's happened before, the 30-year U.S. government Treasury closed below 2%. So we're in very recessionary backdrop, and we're seeing some very strange price action as well. For example, this morning, the S&P, this is a chart of the S&P 500, 30-minute bars, S&P gapped up, and then immediately filled the gap by selling off, and we ended up closing down on the day. So this sort of price action is very negative. This is the backdrop. And as a result, it's not surprising to see that we are seeing some sort of defensive names doing well. So we'll sort of revisit here a lot of the restaurant names that we've been talking about for a while. And congratulations to all of you who have been in here. CMG, Chipotle, doing very, very well. I started buying the stock when I saw my kids are really eating at this place a lot, and it's a very affordable place, and they just can't get enough of it. CMG is one. Starbucks just doing amazingly well this year. I think it's up 50% or something this year. It's currently trapped in sort of a range-bound price action. You can see here it's been trading range-bound since this gap up from earnings. So it's sort of digesting those gains. This could definitely take another leg higher as well. McDonald's, another good one. If you get a recession, more people eating cheaper food, eating Chipotle or McDonald's, or maybe treating themselves with fairly inexpensive treats like you can get at Starbucks. And so we're really seeing a lot of defensive names this week, which is strange for a momentum list. Hershey's, HSY, very nice place to hide out a recession, especially if you like their chocolate. Even if you don't like their chocolate, you've got to like their chart. Dunkin' Donuts, DNKN, now called, I guess, Dunkin' Brands Group. Trading near, I think it's near all-time highs, actually. And for these charts, most of you already know this, but if you're a newcomer, I really like to see the stock trading above the 50-day moving average, which is this line right here. I like to see the 50-day moving average above the 200-day moving average. And you want to see the general price action going from the lower left-hand side of the page to the upper right-hand side, sort of definition of an uptrend. So another defensive name, Dunkin' Brands. And then Shake Shack, which we talked about, I believe, last week after the earnings, just continues to power higher. It's been testing the 100 level here. Another place my kids like to eat. I don't know what that says about my parenting. Finally, Boston Beer Company, trading at all-time new highs here in the wake of their merger with another beer company. Really great chart. Again, these are things people are going to keep buying chocolates, drinking beer, doing very well in a recession. Now, a bunch of you have asked me about utility names, which are doing very well. Duke Energy, for example, DUK, WEC, another electric utility, WEC Energy Group. What was another one? SRE, Sempra Energy. Now, these are stocks that pay a reasonable dividend, and they trade a little bit more like bonds. So you can see a lot of their charts are very similar, actually, to the 10-year 20-year or 30-year Treasury. So if we take a look at TLT, this is the 20-year Treasury. You can see it's just been straight up as interest rates have been coming down in the U.S., pricing in a recession or a Fed rate cut. And so a lot of these energy stocks, they're really substitutes for bonds. That's not where I'd be putting my money right now. Same with a really nice REIT called Public Storage, PSA. Just been doing amazingly well. As rates come down, these kind of stocks go up. If you're super bullish on treasuries and you think rates are going to go to zero eventually in the U.S., these will continue to do well. Otherwise, I think they're a little less desirable. Now, we have another group of stocks which don't normally show up on momentum stock screens. Gold stocks, begin with gold itself, the ETF GLD. This is one we started talking about right when it had this price gap back in June, and it's just been a very nice performer. I know a lot of you are in gold and silver as well, so congratulations to that. SLV would be the ticker for the iShares for silver, just blowing up here to $17. If you know any gold stocks or silver stocks you really like to follow, please drop them in the comments below. I know we've talked about one gold stock that a lot of us like is KL, Kirkland Lake Gold, hitting 50 here, hitting all-time new highs. And then there was RGLD, Royal Gold, another NASDAQ stock, just breaking out like a crazy momentum name. So this is the kind of environment we're in where restaurant stocks, utility stocks, and gold stocks are doing really well. And meanwhile, we're getting some very negative price action from FANG, especially Amazon, which is really struggling at the 200-day moving average. Managed to close above it today, but it's quite ominous when previous leaders break down. And the other one that's breaking, probably the weakest of all the FANG stocks, is Netflix, NFLX, trading way below the 200-day moving average. We're about to get a bearish crossover here, the 50-day moving average closing below the 200-day moving average, often called a death cross. And this is a sign that there could be more downside for Netflix. And then of all the FANG stocks, I would say Apple really is holding in there the best. Apple holding in above, barely holding in above the 50-day moving average. Google looking strong as well, somewhere I think between the, looks like this internet's a little slow, somewhere between the, it's actually above the 50-day moving average as well. Wanted to bring back another name that's holding really well, seems to have institutional accumulation. We talked about this one last week, I believe. DXCM, Dexcom, medical equipment company, trading at, I believe, all-time new highs here. Yeah, looks like all-time new highs. And so you really want to pay attention to these stocks that are, if they're not utilities or not commodity stocks or not metal stocks, and they're still doing well in this market. If we do get a bounce or any sort of turnaround, you can expect these to really take off, because what's happening here is there are institutions accumulating these and sort of holding them up in a bearish tape market. Then wanted to finish with two more tech names that are really holding quite well and have just been outperforming since we first mentioned them. Roku, we've mentioned multiple times this year, closing at all-time new highs. ROKU, closing at all-time new highs today. And finally, Shopify, SHOP, which is really the runaway internet stock winner of 2019. Just an amazing chart. This is a chart that could actually, especially if we get any sort of market bounce here, it's the kind of stock that could start to go parabolic. In other words, the price action could really, you can see it's pulling away from the 50-day moving average. What will often happen is you'll have a panic top where just everyone, all the fund managers have to get in, and the stock goes almost vertical. This will be difficult to happen if we get the sort of price action we've been having, but you can see how well it's holding in here, even in a weak tape. Now, if you've listened this far, you should check out my courses at Trader University, especially this one on swing trading with options. It will teach you how to really leverage and magnify your returns from stocks like Roku and Shopify, and how to trade these using different options configurations. And for all of you who are my YouTube listeners and haven't subscribed yet, I've got a special deal here where you can get a discount, normally $125 for 30 days access. If you just click here, I'll put a link in the description notes below. And then if you go down here where it says have a coupon code, and you just type in YouTube 2019, click update, and I'm going to take off $26. So it'll be just $99 a month. You can watch all my courses if you want the first month and then cancel. But really a lot of stuff in here if you're interested in learning to trade with options, swing trading, fundamental analysis, covered calls, and also just different trading strategies, stock trading strategies that professional traders use. So if you like the way I teach, that's something you should definitely check out. If you have any other names that I've missed that you really like, drop them in the comments below so we can all benefit from each other's knowledge. But stay safe out there. This is not the sort of tape, not the sort of market where you really want to press your bets. A lot of negative price action. S&P sort of in no man's land. As as we finish out August here. September is known for being quite often the worst month of the year. We've had a couple October crashes in 87 and 1929 as well. But September is sort of the month that people don't think of, where very, very nasty things happen. So definitely a time if you want to trade or take positions in any of these, just telling you what I'm looking at. And I'm going to be trading fairly lightly going into September because there's just a lot of headline risk from from the trade war with China. And it seems like there are different things happening all the time with that, and especially a lot of over the weekend risk. So it's a good time to sort of sit back, study charts, maybe take some courses, and really keep your powder dry for an easier market. But I hope some of these names we've gone over have been helpful for you. Thanks a lot for listening. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you like this sort of videos, and let's share some more tickers in the comments below. See you in the next video.